Gentlemen, welcome back to the Prime Dude Podcast. I'm your host, Rob Edwards, and today is my detailed Suede Stratton Jacket review from Beckett Simonon. Now, some of you might be thinking, wait, Beckett Simonon, you mean the shoe company? Yes, the world-renowned shoe company that probably delivers the best pricing value. Two pairs of shoes typically for about $370. Blake stitched. I've reviewed at least one pair extensively on the show. I got a bunch more coming. But recently, about 2 months ago, they released their first jacket. And I wasn't skeptical, I want to say that. I was definitely interested, and I pulled the trigger. They're about $350. They call this the Stratton. It comes in like a chestnut brown and this beautiful olive color. Before I jump into that, I'm also, as a bonus at the end of the show, I'm going to review quickly one of my favorite loafers of the year from Meermin. And of course, stay tuned for more things that are coming in future podcasts and detailed reviews from me, Rob Edwards, at the Prime Dude. So the Stratton Jacket, a big step for Beckett Simonon. They've always had belts, other accessories. They have bags. I think they have wallets too. They have women's shoes. And of course, they have just about every design you could possibly want in a men's dress shoe, leather, suede, you name it, water repellent suede. But jackets, they built this like a trucker jacket, which is typically denim, but they made this in an ever so soft but quite durable feeling suede. So before I give you my final grade of this jacket, I want to go through the stylistic touches they took to make this a suede version of a trucker jacket. First, they went with the patch pockets, typical for a trucker style jacket and a more casual suede jacket on both sides of the chest, but they lowered them slightly. That was a very intentional design. Of course, like the trucker jacket, this is a collared jacket, and again, in suede, it's a very versatile color in olive. You can see here, I have this shirt from Leadberry. It's a herringbone sort of combed cotton flannel, beautiful brown Leadberry customized shirt to my liking. I love their shirts, and I went with sort of a neutral on neutral in this, so it wasn't too loud, but you could dress this olive green jacket with navy blue, really lots of colors, because this is a true brownish olive and it is a neutral. And of course, as I overlay more detailed video so you can see the whole structure of the jacket both on me and on the mannequin, I'll point out the vertical pockets that you can see down below. Like for your hands, that is a very intentional design too, because what they did here is they took away from sort of the busyness of patch pockets. If you imagine this jacket with two patch pockets at the chest and then patch pockets at your, elbow or below the elbow level for your hands, it gets busy, it looks clunky, and it loses its style points. Even if it were in denim, I think that would be just too much. I love the features at the wrist. You have two buttons, and of course, these are distressed brass buttons, which add to that sort of vintage look. The trucker jacket is a vintage, timeless, classic look. And so you got patch pockets with distressed brass buttons. They've added two button options, which I love. I've talked about this with shirts because I have more narrow wrists. And I went with an XL. And typically I could be a large in off the rack, but this is perfect because I didn't want a jacket that was too short. So if you're between sizes, like you're somebody who's like a medium or a large, go with the large. You have features that if the sleeves are a little bit long, you can button the inner button, make it a little more snug, and that's what I did. You can see that in the videos. Absolutely fantastic fitting. Even though this could have been a little bit large, I think it's a perfect size for me, XL. I'm 6'2", about 200 pounds, and I don't have a lot of length in my upper torso, so I think it worked out really well. If you have a long torso but tend to wear a large, this XL might be good for you. Now, as you know, Beckett Simonon, they are going to allow a free exchange or a refund based on sizing. So when you try it on, just as you do with the shoes, you want to be careful, make sure you don't ding it up. It's a little bit easier, like you can be walking on wood or concrete by accident. Try it on, give it a second, button the buttons that you can so that you can really adjust the fit to work for your body. Put some sweaters or something underneath, because this is a fantastic, not weatherproof because it's suede, but a really great outer layer. Why is that? It is unlined. So the body of this jacket is suede, right? It's the suede that you have on your body. It makes it a little cooler. It's not breathable, right? This is leather, but that softness on the inside feels really good if you're just wearing a t-shirt. Also, if you need to be warmer, you put a sweater on underneath this, it's going to go over great. Now, if you've watched before, I've mentioned I hate sleeves on any jacket that don't have lining. they did line the sleeves. They actually on the website call it easy on. It truly is. So when you slide your sleeves through, can you imagine with the texture of suede, if you don't have some kind of lining on the inside, it's really going to stick. I mean, it does with wool, especially cotton. I have a Johnston & Murphy jacket I just can't wear anymore because it's completely unlined, including the sleeves, and it's just too difficult and sort of aggressive to get my arms through the sleeves when I put the jacket on. Speaking of buttons, for the tailored refinement of this jacket, which it absolutely has, not only can you customize the wrists, at least with one more narrow button, so you got two on the wrist, you have the same at the bottom of the jacket on both sides of your hips. So for me, I have it narrowed, the inside button, just like I do with the cuffs. So again, it's going to have a nice silhouette to the body, even though I went one size up. I think it fits great. You guys tell me, take a look. I'm keeping this thing. The way it feels on my body, I don't need to exchange it. But again, if you have to, Beckett Simonon will let you know, hey, we might have to remake it. You have to, of course, send it back, and they'll be able to resell it. Sorry, I hit the mic there. Resell it to somebody. If somebody else exchange, which is probably going to happen quite a bit because this is a new product and there's only a few sizes, they will then send you what you need as soon as you send in the jacket that you ordered. I think this is a truly 3-season jacket, depending on where you live. Styling wise, this could be considered a business casual, depending on the industry you're in. You put a nice colored shirt on like underneath this, whether it be navy, something with some brown navy texture in it. I think you could do this with blue or, of course, white like I had with the t-shirt. I wanted to give you that contrast of the beautiful color, both you can see here indoor, but also outdoors. So I think it can dress up an outfit. Of course, that matters, it matters what you wear. So of course this goes with denim. I mean, that's easy. This jacket, suede jackets are made, leather in general, are made to go with denim. But I think this would look great with anything that has texture. So you put this on corduroy, you put this on combed cotton. I've talked about here some of the like mohair or brushed cottons that you have out there, peached with that texture, the suede jacket, a button-down shirt. You're going to be disco for any kind of like more business casual environment. Of course, like I talked about my recent tweed jacket show that's coming out. It might be out by the time I do this. It all depends on the slacks and the shirt. This is obviously, I don't see how you would wear a tie with this. It's way too casual for that. But again, business casual, smart casual. This jacket is really going to turn some heads. I think it's dealer's choice on which color you go with. I just happen to love olive. I think more people lean to brown when they get suede, just like they do with shoes. My recommendation, if you really want to get the kind of sartorial touch out of this and make it unique, check it out in olive. I think they absolutely did a beautiful job with the color. So overall, this has that trucker jacket, that shacket look to it. It's warm. Right now, it's pretty chilly out. When I'm filming this, I went outside, actually took the trash out in this, and it was perfect for, 45 degrees, and I only have one shirt underneath. There's room for me to put a sweater on. I think this is an A+ product. I'm stunned at how Beckett Simonon has nailed it with this jacket on the first run. I ordered the first batch. This was made in September. I got it in early December. Their timing for the shoes has also improved. You're about anywhere from 50 to 65 days because they're so popular. It seems they're making more batches. And I have a feeling they probably are going to be making many more of these jackets. There's still time to get it, to enjoy it for the colder weather. If you order it now in December, you're going to get this in February, and this will last you through spring evenings. And of course, then come next fall, you got a beautiful olive or chestnut brown suede trucker style jacket to take you into the cooler season. Next, we're going to jump into a quick shoe review, a shoe you can get from Meermin right now. I got this on eBay brand new. So I got it a little bit less. It's about a $250 shoe, which Meermin does a fantastic job in that price range for the most part. So this is the brown Waxy calf loafer from Meermin, and I wanted to share my review with you as soon as I could. I've been wearing this quite a bit as the season changed to fall and now winter. I needed something that was a more durable loafer, travel ready, but had still the style punch that could do well for business casual and both casual, since I don't want to have to pack a lot. So brown Waxy calf. Now it's interesting, Meermin references a number of tanneries like Depew and others. I mean, they've used Horween on their manufacturing before, but this one's listed as prime, and I really can't find anything on prime, so I'm going to assume they're probably in China. They do a nice job with this Waxy calf leather. Now, what is Waxy calf? What do they mean? Now, this isn't Waxy Commander. that has that suede rough out feel to it, nor is it rough out suede. This is truly leather, but it's vegetable tanned and it's kind of re-waxed. And it's a very substantial leather after it goes through the tanning process. Now, this is not a leather that you shine. Waxy calf, like the rough outs and like the Waxy Commander leathers and others of that kind, even their shell cordovan sort of wax they have from one of the boots I have from Meermin, that review's coming out. This is a waxy, deep oil penetrated leather in the tanning process. So there's trade-offs with that. One, this is not a leather that you're going to shine. It's waxy. You do not want to do a lot to it. I almost made the mistake of using the Saphir oiled leather cream, the Cour Gras, which can ruin it if you're not careful. This is a low maintenance loafer. The waxiness and there's no pull-up shine to it. It's more rugged. It's not meant to be shined. It's meant to have a matte look to it and really hold out moisture if you need it to. They did it on a nice rubber sole, so that makes it even more weather ready. And of course, you can see it's a penny loafer and it's on the sway last. It's my first time and it fits absolutely fantastic. True to size, I went with a UK 9.5, which is US 10.5, and it fits perfect, which is my normal Brannock size. Now, you gotta love the stitch detailings. Of course, throughout this, I've been putting video up for you. I love the contrast apron toe stitching. The vamp is beautiful. I've worn these quite a bit, and you can see it's getting that beautiful creasing patina. That's what's gonna happen with Waxy calf. Now, this isn't the same as their softer Waxy calves. That's gonna get more creasing, more patina, more of that aged look, which is what you want. This is gonna be a little more durable. They built this to look kind of like an Ivy League loafer. I'm gonna take the shoe tree out real quick so you can kind of see the inside. You see really nice leather interior, but this kind of looks like the Boston loafer from Crockett and Jones, right? That penny loafer style, super versatile again with the rubber sole and a couple leather heel stacks in between before you get to the mid and insole. You can't beat a dark brown loafer with a little contrast stitching. Again, this isn't something I would wear with any suit, but with your odd trousers or denim, you could do anything you want. This has become, when it's cold and I want something with some structure, this has become an everyday around the house loafer for me. That's how comfortable it is. The last really stays on my heel because there's more toe room. It's, more of a casual last, a more rounded toe last, but I do not lose the security of the heel. And this is a very strong heel stiffened backstay, which I want. I want strong, see the saddle of the shoe. I want durability. This has been a fantastic loafer experience for me, and I wanted to share it with you, get the shoe table pictures out there. Tell you one, it's Flex Goodyear welted, which is what Meermin's kind of known for. So these can be resold. They're Goodyear welted, but they really keep it light. So that's important too, because this leather is thicker vegetable tan leather. It's with the tanning process, it's made to be durable. If you had too much construction going on, I feel like it would have too much weight for a casual or business casual loafer. Shoe care with this, you can see I got a couple products behind. I think Venetian's okay, but again, less is more with anything that says waxy. You're not mirror shining this, you're not shining this. You're conditioning it lightly and you are brushing it. So with waxy shoe leathers, aggressive brushing, aggressive, that is key. It will heat activate, and I'm talking 5 minutes on and off. The heat from a horsehair brush will activate those oils tanned into the leather, and that's going to give it that nice clean shine. It helps with scratching. Now, if you get some surface scratches you want to touch up, then Bic 4 is your friend. I think that's the most I'll ever do with this. Occasionally, and Bic 4 can be used every time. It's very surface oriented. It's not going to try to penetrate the leather. You don't want that with waxy because you can get clouded. So a real light amount of this, let it sit a little bit, then horsehair brush it. Probably all you're going to need to do most of the time. Now, if you get a substantial area, and I don't have it yet, where you got a scratch you don't like, I would barely use some Saphir Renovateur, and only in that spot. I would never use that product on the entirety of the shoe. Literally like a dime area, one at a time. Let it sit for the 3 or 4 minutes, and then brush it off aggressively. Do not use too much Renovateur on anything, especially a waxy based shoe. Now for color, if I want to touch it up, and I might do this instead of Renovateur, I might use some dark brown Saphir cream polish, super light amount. I mean like a Q-tip's worth in the area, and then brushing it. This is not a shoe you get to do a lot of shoe care with. It's an everyday loafer. It's an easy on, easy off shoe. It's something you can travel with and depend on in business casual, and of course, casual on the weekend. Anything you like, it's so versatile. So that's it for the show, guys. We talked about the Stratton jacket. Olive color is my favorite. Of course, not like I have the other one, but I just love olive. This shirt from Leadberry, it's a herringbone brown. I love it. I'll link that below. And of course, I will link the brown waxy calf loafer rubber sole penny loafer from Meermin. You obviously know I'm a fan of both of these items. I like to share positive experiences. Most of my experiences are, unfortunately, I got a couple shoe reviews coming up where things didn't go so well. One is from Meermin. I spent a pretty penny on these boots. That's coming. So you need to follow the show if you want to learn about these things. Also, beyond liking, subscribing, putting on your alerts, drop your comments below. Have you had a good experience with this loafer or another from Meermin? What else do you recommend in a waxy calf-based shoe, whether it's a loafer, dress shoe, or boot? And then tell me if you've had the Stratton jacket or you've got questions about ordering it from Beckett Simonon. Drop those questions below, guys. I always appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much for the support. And as always, stay prime.